Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Carter here, and today I have a brand new DLC that just came out for Farming Simulator. It is the Holmer update, and it adds a whole bunch of beet harvesting and a couple other things, equipment. So let's get into it. First, you got the harvester, but one thing I just want to note: they went into actually pretty good detail with the animations here, with like just the little ladder and stuff. So let's get into the nitty gritty details first. The harvester is a Terra DOS T440, and the head is an HR9 with a 4.5. Working with, I think that is the, no, it is actually wider. Okay, so it is wider than the Grime, right? Yes. So it's a whole meter and a half wider. Next comes the tractor, which is a Terra variant 600 Eco. These are huge tractors in real life, and it is in the game too. And I'm actually really excited for this because they're so like versatile. You can use them in anything pretty much. And then next for the tractor, you can put on the slurry tanker with the direct inject slurry system. Which is the Zunhammer TV and the Zunhammer Vibro, I think is how it's called. And then you have a grain tank and a sugar beet tank, which has the auger and conveyor. And then spreader. You have a manure spreader, the Bergman TSWA19 TV. So let's get looking at the mod itself. First thing you'll notice is everything looks pretty red. I mean, this whole update's real red. But yeah, so let's look at the harvester first, since there's less features. So you can buy the trailer too. That's just under header trailers, and it does hook up to the back by hitch. So the header is foldable because it's quite long, and then you can unfold the harvester. The wheels will go up, and that's what it looks like unfolded. So we will get it out in the field quick, but one thing I want to note is Farming Simulator themselves actually added different steering modes, which I think is very cool because it's not something Farming Sim, the Giants team, has ever really done much with, so I think that's really cool. So first you have flexible steering, which is like max steer. It steers as sharp as you can possibly get. Next you have rigid steering, which is just the tires, so you don't have the articulating action in there. Next you have crab steering, so that'll shift the whole rear end to the left, and then you have crab steering to the right, which will essentially do the opposite and shift the whole rear end to the right, and then you're back to flexible steering. So we'll get this guy going, and then we'll talk about the tractor. So this is the tractor. It also has different steering modes. You have flexible steering, which in this case is just pivot steering. Next you have rigid steering, which is front wheel steering. I'm hitting the wrong key. Crab steering, which is obviously just shifts it to the left and then to the right with right crab steering. It's kind of like goofy when you first try it out. It actually, I can imagine it taking quite a while to get the hang of. As you can see, it's got the 3-point hydraulic hitch on the back, and I haven't actually tried to hook up to a trailer. I assume you just back under and it snaps on. Pretty simple. There, you can unfold it. I don't think we need to unfold the hook up, and no, you do not. So yeah, you just back under, hooks up just like that. Let's put the pipe out. See how tall the pipe actually is. So it looks like you should be able to fit a semi-trailer under there. I'm not quite sure because I don't know the actual height of it, but it looks pretty damn tall. So we're gonna assume that you can put a semi-trailer under there. Let's unhook and look at the next one. Let's go over the Bergman manure spreader, just because I actually, this one slipped through the cracks. I actually forgot that this was a attachment that came with this DLC, so let's look at it. And it looks like the legs are in like what I would call ghost. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I think they are. So you don't have to be perfectly back up under there, but it might catch too, so beware of that. So basically your typical minor spreader, nothing really that special. What do we got next? Let's do the sugar beet tipper. So actually, let's do that last, since that's what we'll be using on the. So let's just back under, and this would be the slurry tanker with the direct inject cultivating system. We're actually gonna need to unfold here, I believe. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't. Now I like that. That's pretty nice. You have to actually unfold the hydraulics there to have them work. So that's actually a pretty cool system. And basically this is just this is your basic slurry tanker. Nothing super special about it, just other than the fact that it's detachable. So I can see this being very useful on a farm that wants to save on vehicle costs and the amount of just vehicles in general. But other than that, you basically have all these tools at your disposal already. Besides this one right here, this is really the only one that isn't in the game. But you can get away. What's going on here? You can get away without having it. You know, there's other options. Now, in my opinion, this is the best looking one, and this is kind of what the tractor is designed for. Or at least what I've seen it be used the most for. And it's essentially just a middleman system for the sugar beet harvester. All it really does, like the only real purpose of it, is to take the sugar beets from the harvester to the edge of the field where this semi would be, and that's basically the main point of this attachment. Other than that, there's really no real point to it. So we'll get this filled up a little bit, and then I just want to see what it looks like when it's full and stuff. But and then let's just get her going. Now oh wow, that kind of went out of control for a second there. Now one thing I did notice is the animation. It's kind of weird. It's really real thick looking. But you know, I'm not going to complain too much. They probably could have done a little bit better work on that, but like I said, I'm not going to complain. Yeah, so I don't think there's really much more to this. So last but not least, we will just look at prices. So for the beet harvester, it's going to cost you approximately $500,000 for one harvester, which is pretty much the same as the Grime Maxtron 620. In my opinion, this is actually a way better deal. It's wider. It is bigger. It's just all around better. And then the tractor, it's gonna run you $250,000. That's pretty pricey. But if you look at like this is 310 horsepower. This is 598. They do exactly the same job. This does more actually. So that's where I think that takes the cake there. For the attachments, $45,000 for a simple grain tank and $62,000 for the sugar beet tank. That's pricey. That is really, really pricey, and that is where that goes. Like, that's pricey stuff. The slurry tanker, $54,000 compared to what would essentially be the same thing, $38,000. That's pretty pricey too. I would still say it's worth it, but I mean, you really have to work hard to repay that and stuff, unless you're really doing well already. What was the last one? Manure spreader. That's going to run $43,000 compared to a manure spreader that's about 13,000. I don't even know what this would be. Bushels. Well, we'll call it bushels. Bigger. And you're. Wait. I mean, this one. That's 3,000 less. 4,000 less. Approximately 4,000 less. You're paying $12,000 more for 3,000, somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 of capacity. That's also pretty spendy. Not nearly as bad as what the farm tech for the IT runner pack is, but it's still pretty spendy. Overall, would I say that this mod is, or this DLC is worth $10? That's honestly up to you. Beet harvesting doesn't seem to be that big of a thing in this game, but if it is something that you are into or want to get into, I would definitely recommend it, just because there's not too many mods out there like it. But if you're not a beet harvester, I would honestly save your money on this, because it's purely beet harvesting, unless you want it for this tractor. That's about the only justifiable thing I could see someone buying it for, other than the beet harvesting, because this is a pretty good tool to have. But that's not saying that someone won't come out with a mod version of this in like a day. Interiors, they do look beautiful. Very clean, like super clean actually. There you have the Holmer logo. You have a passenger seat. I wish the interior was interactable, but all we can do is pray for the next game to have that. And I believe the interior of this one, yeah, it's about the same. Lots of switches. Could you imagine having that many lights everywhere? That is just insane to me. But like I said, it's hopefully someday that's something that you can use. But until then, yeah, it's just a pretty little decoration. And you got the Holmer logo, and the animations are real good on this, I will say. Like right there, you can see the little beaters moving, and you can actually see the sugar beets flying backwards, which I like. That's really cool. But like I said, I would only honestly recommend this DLC if you are into beet harvesting, or if you just really need like a manure spreader or a slurry tanker or a tipper. Other than that, I can honestly say save your money, you guys. It's a cool mod, but it seems like it has a very specific target market. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, hit that like button down below and leave a comment giving me any feedback that you want to give me, and hit me up on Twitter, link in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always guys, this was Carter. Peace out.